Okay, we're moving on to some painting. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the skin for this Space Ork miniature. This is a Space Ork with a shooter and a chopper, basically a rudimentary firearm and a cleaving blade. They're not sharp, they're designed for crushing your opponent. Very kindly pre-undercoated. What I've done is I've affixed it to a pot of paint that I'm not going to use, Hawk turquoise, with blue tack, so I don't want to be touching the miniature while I'm painting. The colours I'm going to use for the skin is the base coat is going to be Goblin Green. I'm going to use Dark Angel's Green for the shade, and for the highlight I'm going to be using Sunburst Yellow mixed with the Goblin Green.
Well, Rob, can I stop you there a minute? For people who perhaps don't have those paints but have bought a paint set that has something similar, I'll assume you can swap in paints that are similar to this.
Yeah. Basically.
I mean, this isn't a concrete thing. People are encouraged to mix their own colours, obviously.
Definitely, yeah. Basically, all you want to think of is shade dark, highlight light. Don't use white if you can avoid it. If you want to get a more extreme highlight, use something like bleached bone, because that's got still got that yellow tinge, a very warm yellow tinge. The best thing to add to green to lighten it is yellow, though. All we're going to do is a pretty standard Games Workshop heavy metal style colour scheme. The stuff you see in the How to Paint Armies books. Very simple. I've also got 2 pots of water. The reason you have 2 pots of water is if you're going to use metallics and you clean your brush in the same water, it will contaminate any other pigments that you have, any other paints. You'll get metal flakes in it, which is what we don't want. And I'm going to be mixing on the tile, so you'll be able to see the consistencies. The most important thing about painting is to dilute your paints with water. These are water-based acrylics. 3 or 4 thin layers of paint is much more. It provides a much more even coat, much more nice flat coat than one thick coat, because you tend to get the blotchiness. We're using black undercoat as well, so just give your paint a really good shake. I'm going to use a larger brush to get the paint out of the pot. Make sure you've got a bit of paper. Don't use toilet paper, so that can leave fibres on your brush which transfers to your paint. Use kitchen towel, and away we go. This is it's a bluey green. I tend to use slightly more than I need, because pots of paint are only about £3 a pop, so they're not that expensive.
It's very much into the realm of a pocket money thing if you're a kid, and for an adult it's something that you can really pick up in a lunchtime.
Yeah, definitely. It's I tend to use a rather watery base coat. When you finish, when you clean your miniature, you need to get your brush to a point. If you have a look at that tip, it's got quite a nice point on it. If you just basically stick it in your mouth and form the point with your tongue, you'll be fine. So, and make sure you keep all these little sheaths to protect your brushes.
Yes, I remember as a young person, when I first got into Warhammer. I say young. The first thing I always used to do with the brushes was throw away the plastic sleeves.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is probably why I wasn't really a great quality painter, unfortunately.
Well,
it's also why all my brushes were really splayed.
Yeah, if they splay, then they're pretty much only useful for dry brushing. So if we start just putting the paint on, you can see it's very, very thin, and it is going to take several coats.
Okay.
Okay, you want to try to get the flesh colour on the flesh on the fleshy areas, but it's no big deal at this stage because the undercoat, the base coat, is very, very thin. You can see over here some of the pigments separating. You're getting your yellow. So. Okay, paint is a little bit. I've got a bit too much paint on there. If you get paint in an area just that you don't want, just clean your brush off and use it to basically wick it up.